All right, my YouTube family. Yes, man. I'm here again, man, Mr. B. I may have some questions because may I follow the news and the developments with respect to this SSL fraud business and whether people want to sweep it under the carpet or not. This is a massive, massive event in the financial history of Jamaica. Now, according to the reports, Miss Jean Ann Panton, who had produced a multi-page confession of her crimes, has been denied bail. And we have no problem with that, right? If you're willing to commit the crime, you need to be willing to pay the price for the crime. And one of that is a restriction on your freedom. The thing I find a little amusing, if you will, is the fact that prior to this whole development, I am not familiar with that this woman would have been walking around with a walker and being assisted into her office or around her office in a wheelchair. But, it would appear that the Oscars are run on Jamaica, and so I think she should have get a booby prize as an actress. But be that as it may, according to the reports, the judge has determined, and despite all the pleadings from her attorney, that she needs to turn a jail and wait till the case run through. But the question that I want to ask is, do these people really expect Jamaica people to believe that one individual, one person, acting alone, could negotiate or orchestrate and effect a $3 billion haul from a listed company? Now, unless, I must have been born when my mother got on a market, right? So that I would have, be forced to accept all of what is being shoved down my throat. That is just absolute bull crap. Now, the financial sector had been through stuff similar to this a couple of decades before. And out of that, the Financial Investigative Division was established, as part of Jamaica has always had a problem with money laundering and all them sort of thing. And so the Financial Investigative Division was established to deal with this and to look for these kind of big white collar, big neck crime. The Bank of Jamaica has a role that they play. For example, under the current financial regulations of Jamaica, the bank can't cash a check from any individual for more than $1 million. Once the check is up to $1 million, it have to go through some processing. If that check is in excess of $5 and $10 million, it also has to be come into the purview of the Bank of Jamaica, because what you're looking at is the proceeds from this check. Where is it going? Is it going to be flushed back into the system and add to the inflation that is racking the country at this point in time? So for various reasons, and again, for the same money laundering thing, these controls are there. Now, the other thing to remember, SSL is not a bank. They're not a deposit-taking institution. And so they don't have lump sums, millions of dollars sitting down in the office and waiting for people to come in and pick up their money, or whatever, right? So every transaction has to be, producing a check of sorts. And the question that I ask, because again, you can't tell me that an entity handling this kind of money have just one single individual write the requisition for the check, sign the check, issue and sign the check, and have full custody of the proceeds of the check transaction as well. Again, I never born so big, and so you can't tell me that one person could have orchestrated this scullion work of, you know, squeezing out 3 billion Jamaican. And remember, this 3 billion is a figure that it's estimated, right? And the estimate is at the low level. So you want to ask a question, one to the other directors of SSL, right? The Minister of Finance was quick to jump on the issue. Well, let me rephrase that, because they certainly took their time. But once he got in, he seemed to have been successful, you would think, in weaving this web to suggest that they're doing certain things about this thing. Oh, they're gonna bring in the FBI, and we have now requested the FBI to come into Jamaica to partner with our investigators to see where this is going. I'm gonna tell you something. If it wasn't so serious, this would make a very big comedy, I'm sure, because what is being expected, what is played out here, and the expectations is that by dummying the public with all of this kind of bull crap approaches, and because nobody's saying anything, I guess along certain lines, the feeling is that, you know, well, with the probable exception of a Usain Bolt, whose money is among the missing, it do affect a wide cross section of Jamaica. The problem that this thing have is that it affects the confidence that people should have in the banking system, and they beg the question: what exactly are we doing to deal with these issues? Listen. On a year full of Sunday, no one person could execute this by themselves. There has to be collusion. And the rest of the directors of the company and the senior managers need to answer some questions. The impression that is being given by the way how these investigations are being conducted is that the focus is on a single individual. Right? And Jamaicans are being kind of, you know, them a carry the ball down the line and force you to carry your eye to the direction where them a dribble the ball. And so nobody is, you know, looking at the broader picture. Because again, we're not talking about $3 million, you know. We're not talking about $300 million. We're talking about $3 billion. And even with Jamaica exchange rate, that are not chop on so on a monkey money that at all. And so I refuse to buy the argument that this woman acted alone. Again, you know, the question is, have they been quizzing some of the rest of the management of the company, right? Have travel restrictions been placed on the remaining directors and senior managers of this entity? In fact, we should be asking for a roll call so we know where everybody else there, because it seems as if it's just one person that this investigation is focusing on. And, you know, it is an insult to the people of Jamaica that our political masters, if you will, really believe that they can, you know, concoct this kind of approach and basically throw people off. This issue came into the public purview. You know, it wasn't something that we requested, but the importance of it cannot be understated. And so there are a number of questions. My question too is, you know, what is the political opposition? Because clearly this thing has now become a political football. So what is the response of the people on the other side of the political fence, and just in general, the investing community in Jamaica? Won't I say? you know, because if una believe, say, that one single person, right, could have thief so much money by herself. The woman don't even know how to put on a good Oscar act. And you're going to tell me that that tomfoolery that is being played out, which it have, you know, wheelchair and walk and all of that, that person could have sit down and thief $3 billion of Jamaica people money? Give me a break. Let me hear what you think about that party. Give me on feedback. And, you know, as usual, may I ask if you like the video, you know, hit the like button. But more importantly, this is one of those conversations that I'd like us to maintain. And so if you haven't signed up yet for the channel, you know, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, man, just subscribe so we can have these conversations. And more importantly, that as material is presented on the channel, you have first dibs. And, you know, I promise that once you are commenting, I am going to respond, because I think it is important that we have this kind of public debate, especially since the regular media in the country is not doing the job that is expected of them. So let me hear what you think. Write, you know, comments, you know, feedback in the comment section. And again, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, like and share. Let me hear from you. I mean, same one, Mr. B. Respect.